In the world of luxury vehicles, well, trust the Brits to bring the game on. Whilst the German rivals might have all the tech in the world and maybe also all the power, but in terms of opulence, rule Britannia, Britannia rule the waves. Carry on, driver. Well, now this is a good place to start the review. Now this is of course a review of a Luxo barge, so naturally the first part of the review would be from here, the back seat, because if you were to buy this car, chances are you'd be back here rather than up front there, because this is a limousine. Now, let me qualify what I said earlier about the fact that the Brits definitely know how to do opulence. Of course, if you think about it, you know, with the price bracket that this car sits in, the direct rivals would be the S-classes and the 7 Series, of course. But, you know, when you buy those cars, you know you're getting the best tech in the world, and you're getting, you know, the most oomph in terms of power and all that. But it is a sense of opulence. It is a sense of event. Not only is it the sense of event when you say to people, oh, I drive a Jaguar, or I get driven in a Jaguar, but also when you approach the car and when you slink yourself into this beautiful seat. Now, the back here is really where you really want to be if you have a Luxo barge. The seats are very cosseting. I've got a lot of space back here. Of course, this is the XJL, so this is the long wheelbase version, so I've got plenty of space between my knees and the front seat. But you know, this is a very nice place. I've got my very own sunroof. I've got if it gets too hot, hey, guess what, all I need to do is shut that, and for that extra sense of privacy, there you go, I'm in my own cosseted cozy space, and the finish is very beautiful, and well, generally speaking, there's not much to complain at all about this back seat over here. Now, how does it feel when you're being driven? Whilst the area inside the car feels really good and is really comfortable, the ride itself, well, as you can see, my friend the pilot here would have to go really slow over bumps, because even though this is a Luxo barge, it's actually a little bit crashy. It's not as smooth, it's not as magic carpet as I'd like it to be. But then again, you know why? Because in a Jaguar, you always have the option of being driven or to drive it yourself like this. Well, okay, guess what? Being in a Jaguar, it actually feels equally good to be up front, up here in the driver's seat. Very few Luxo barges out there in the world actually offers the same amount of satisfaction, both back there and up front, like a Jaguar. Oh wow. You know, I'm sure a lot of people out there would debate, but then it is about the cat-like reflexes, and we have to address that. Now, earlier I mentioned something that, you know, being in a Jaguar, the ride is probably not as magic carpet and as comfy and as plush as some of the other, well, particularly German rivals, and I'll tell you why. Because again, it goes down to the fact that very few Luxo barges out there offer the same kind of smile-inducing satisfaction back there and up front, because a Jaguar also rewards the driver. It is the cat-like reflexes that you get when you are up front. The steering wheel, I mean, in a big limousine, it's supposed to be as dead wood, but no, in a Jaguar, it actually talks back to you. It tells you that your car is doing this, your car is doing that, this is what's happening under the tire. And for a person who enjoys driving, that is something that you would really appreciate. And then what else is alive and responsive? It's the lump up front. This car comes with the well, possibly the smallest engine offered in a luxury limousine anywhere in the world. It has a 2-litre straight 4 turbocharged all aluminum lump up front that pushes out 240 PS and 340 Newton meters of torque. Now, that might not sound a lot, given that this is a Luxo barge, a big Luxo barge. But consider this car does the century sprint in 7.5 seconds, as is demonstrated now with the torque. Yep, you definitely feel the push, and you would definitely appreciate that. That's one of the best things about this car. The fact that it can do the century sprint in 7.5 seconds is thanks to the all aluminum construction. This car is actually light for the size and the visual weight that it gives out to you. Now, paired with space age aerodynamics, that gives this car the oomph that you need. Now, look at this. This car, the only time you will feel unsettled if you take a corner, a sweeping corner, a little bit too fast. But if you control it, you can actually still chuck the car about, and you forget that this is in fact a big limousine. But that does not mean you skimp on the lux and the opulence. Look at that clock, man. It's like a jewel sitting. This is more English stately tea room rather than Berlin megapolitan penthouse suite. Functional, beautiful to look at, great to touch, with a little bit of niggle here and there, but it's okay. It's all very British made. Now, if at any point you thought that this car is not a large car, I please ask you very nicely to reconsider, because this is most definitely a large car. I'm 5'11". That's how big this car is. This is a proper large limousine, and this being the long wheelbase version adds additional 12 centimeters of length where you will enjoy if you're sitting in the back seat. Now, the design of the car is a give and take. It's either you love it or you hate it. But one thing for sure, this is most definitely a slippery design. It's very aerodynamic, and it's got a great sense of presence on the road, especially if you're looking at it dead up front. That's probably a reason why M loved this car so much, because it's got a sleek look, but at the same time, again, the underlying factor is it maintains its opulence outside and inside. These are 19-inch wheels that you can option all the way up to 20s, and they're going to add that visual impact. This car is long, but it's very slim, so it gives you that slip through the air sensation, or rather feeling, when you're looking at it. Inside, it's as posh as you can want it to be. As you saw earlier, it's got leather here, there and everywhere. Yes, there might be some niggles when it comes to, you know, building material and building quality, but nothing for you to complain about. And well, a lot of people have, however, mentioned just the one thing, which is this. The boot itself, well, it's wide enough, it's deep enough, but it's not deep this way around. But rest assured, you are going to be able to fit your golf bag in there. The Jaguar XJL. What final words would be suitable and would be a fair comment to this wonderful car? Well, I think it's simply this. You can buy any car you want out there in the same price range that offers you pretty much the same level of comfort or more, pretty much the same level of power or more, and drivability or more, and also all three or less, okay? But this is the one area which Jaguar excels above and beyond its competitors. It's that marked sense of tradition. You appear in one of the German cars, that's all good. But you appear at an event, at a party, or at a dinner and say, I turned up in a Jaguar. Regardless of what Jaguar it is, but if it's the XJL, it's got extra oomph to it. And being a Jaguar, it's oomph that you definitely would appreciate.